welcome to my channel Worldwide. June 18, 2023, OceanGate launched Titan for a commercial dive to the Titanic. Passengers boarded. The mission began like many before, hopeful, routine. The vessel, named Titan, descended toward the wreck under a sky of calm seas. 90 minutes later, everything changed. The submersible suffered a catastrophic implosion, instantaneous, final. 5 lives were lost in the blink of an eye. Search and rescue teams scrambled. The ocean gave no survivors. The world watched in disbelief. 2 years later, the U.S. Coast Guard released a 335-page report. Its conclusions were stark. Jason Neubauer, chair of the investigation board, called it avoidable. He said the 5 lives could have been saved. The report found not a tiny mistake but systemic failure and deliberate negligence. Manuals were incomplete. Testing was unsafe. The pilot, Stockton Rush, was also lead engineer and safety officer. Concentric authority with no checks. The craft was even controlled with a modified PlayStation controller. 5 families lost loved ones. The technical debate became a human tragedy. This is the story of how decisions, materials, and ignored warnings converged. To understand why Titan failed, we must look at its materials. Titan used carbon fiber for a deep-sea pressure hull, a choice with consequences. Experts had warned of delamination, of layers separating under pressure, but those warnings were not heeded. The answers lie beneath the surface. Carbon fiber is strong, but behaves differently under extreme sustained pressure. Under deep ocean pressure, it can delaminate, layers separate and weaken the structure. Experts warned that carbon fiber had not been proven for primary deep-sea hulls. Their cautions were documented and ignored. In 2021 and 2022, cracking sounds were recorded inside the hull. Yet no effective action was taken. Former consultant Rob McCallum said it was mathematically certain the vessel would fail. He said it was only a matter of when. Stockton Rush served as pilot, lead engineer, and safety officer. Power concentrated in one person. With no checks and balances, risks multiplied. Rush argued certifications hinder innovation and prevented the sub from undergoing certification. Several manual sections read, "To be determined." The operational manual had only 4 pages for deep-sea use. Inside the company, raising safety concerns was discouraged. An operations director was fired in 2018 after submitting a safety report. Incomplete manuals, unsafe testing, lack of proper hull inspections. In 2023, the company faced severe financial strain. Employees were asked to forego salaries temporarily. Experienced engineers left. Inexperienced staff remained. A former director said the sub resembled a high school project, and the team matched that level. Ad hoc engineering decisions replaced industry standard practices. Communication was done by text messages with delays. Industry standard is real-time voice. OceanGate avoided it to cut costs. Testing methods were inadequate. Proper hull inspections were not performed. Critical inspection items were unchecked or absent. Across years, warnings, cracking sounds, and decisions aligned toward failure. Experts said the failure was statistically inevitable. Cracking sounds recorded on board in prior dives were ignored. Under pressure, delamination can lead to sudden catastrophic collapse. The Coast Guard consolidated the facts into a single conclusion. They called it avoidable, deliberate negligence. The final report said OceanGate failed to follow modern engineering protocols. Manuals incomplete, testing unsafe, warnings ignored. Investigators said the deaths were preventable and that, had Stockton Rush lived, criminal charges would have been recommended. Concentration of power, suppression of safety, and willful avoidance of certification were central to their findings. This was a leadership failure as much as an engineering one. When one voice overrides caution, risk becomes fatal. The report warns the industry: learn the lesson, adopt standards, and enforce checks. Certification, inspections, transparency. The real danger: another leader with the same hubris could create the next Titan. Without accountability, tragedy repeats in new forms. The board urged stronger protocols, independent certification, and open reporting. Independent review, rigorous testing, transparent records. The ocean keeps its secrets. But we cannot let silence and arrogance determine the cost of exploration. 5 lives lost. Lessons must be learned. If the world heeds this report, future designs will change. If not, another Titan could emerge. Read the Coast Guard report. Hold operators and designers to modern engineering standards. Remember the cost of ignored warnings. My next video watching now.